We'd like to welcome each and every individual to Voices of Integrity podcast. I'm Mark Boersma for Dummies, and this one's gonna be good. So, you know, if that's you and you don't have a sincere desire to grow, then this is gonna be the worst thing you've ever made up your mind to do. Um, Go ahead, Nora, unhold it.
Mark likes drama.
So I don't know what year it was. I don't know what year it was. Um, but there was a year of drama.
2018.
2018. It was a year of drama, and so I had a whole year of drama, and it's probably the year the kids remember the most because I was a deep expressive, and it was holy cow, did we have drama, um, and so like we had food fights. Melissa asked her about that. Like we had these huge straws, like big ones, and I loaded up with wet mushy peas, and we had a food fight with it. And she was at the other end of the table. She was a teenager, and man, I so these wet saucy peas, and I flung it, spit it all the way across, all the way into her mouth directly. It was a direct hit. It was, and it was the year like So I have this issue, not just one, but I like it at church on Sunday, like birthdays, you had to go up. They made you come up and celebrate, and they would sing in front of you, and then you get a prize. Stupidest thing in the world. Stupid. I hated that thing. I was the founding member, one of the founding members of the church. I was the chairman of the deacon board. I tried to get that stupid policy to change. Couldn't do it. I mean, I could not do it. It's just like, really, I hated that thing. I even tried skipping church on Sunday. Like, okay, maybe if I skip my birthday, then they won't do it. Nope. Next week, Mark, come up. And so, anybody have any questions on that?
Why did you hate it so much?
I don't know. Birthdays are stupid. Like, it's just like any other day of the week. I mean, I didn't learn until I was 59, 3 years ago, why birthdays are important. It's like, I don't get it. Why are then it's the day I was born. Oh my goodness, wow. Wow. Like, we should celebrate. Like this, like, it just seems stupid to me. I just didn't understand it. I mean, my dad, like, my parents weren't big into birthdays. Once my dad went ahead and he built birthday cakes. So he's kind of an engineer. And I forget what I had, maybe a merry-go-round or something. It was when we were younger. And he put a lot of work into every one of the birthday cakes. And it was pretty fascinating. But pretty much birthdays were no big deal. And I didn't. So as a driver analytic, it's like I got work to do. Like, Patrick, pass this along to him. He'll enjoy this one. Patrick knows the birthday is not for the father, just like Father's Day is not for the father. It's for the wife and the kids to go ahead and have fun and celebrate. It's not for the father. Patrick knows that. So I don't know, driver, analytic, being a dad, like it just seems stupid. I don't know, it just seems stupid to me. Good question though. Other questions?
So do you think it created more drama by everybody going up and celebrating their birthday, or you not wanting to?
Not wanting to do it didn't create drama.
So there wasn't any like back and forth or anything with, not wanting to do it and other people wanting to do it.
I mean, there were three of us that didn't like doing it, all similar person, a woman, myself, and one other. there were 3 people that hated it. And we voiced it to the pastor and deacons and said, this is, this, we don't like doing it. Didn't matter.
Why was it so important for the church to do that?
Right? That didn't make any sense either. It's just stupid. Just stupid. It didn't make any sense to me, Elaine. I just suffered through it for decades. And then,
I mean, I can see it for the small children, as
I'm fine with other people doing it. Like, I'm fine. Like, it's not a big deal. The kids do it, women do it, other people. So if you want to go ahead and do it, do it. I don't have a problem with you doing it. But you shouldn't be making me do something I don't want to do. I hate it, despised it. I skipped church on Sunday, and you still made me go up the next week. So it's just stupid. And so I don't have a problem other people doing it. This is what's fascinating. People are like, Mark, you want me to be like, no, I don't want you to be like, you could be like me if you tried to be like me. You can't be like this. You just can't. And I'm okay with that. But don't make me be like you. You can't be like me. I don't want to be like you. It'd kill me. Because you're a goofball. Mark, what do you really think, right? Okay. Any other questions? So what'd you do, Mark? Right? So I'm like, okay, this is a year of drama. I'm an expressive. So what would I do? So I hatched this plan. My expressive brain went into high gear. And I said, I think I know what I'm going to do. So it's a small church. I don't know. There's 70 people there, maybe. Small church, everybody knew. So I dressed up like a homeless man, had my Billy Bob teeth in, dressed up like a homeless man. And I walked in, and the only person, I don't think the kids even knew that what I was doing. Rosanna did. She's just shaking her head. Yipper. So I walk in and I sit down in the back row, and nobody knows who I am. I am so well disguised that nobody knows who I am. And then Dale Williams, sure enough, in Sunday school, he'd go and say, is there anybody's birthday? I jump out of that seat, start dancing up and down the aisle. I'm singing and dancing. It's my birthday. I'm like all in, all on. My youngest brother, he's an expressive, and he didn't know who I was until I got closer to him. He started laughing so hard he fell off his pew. He was the associate pastor. So I go ahead and I dance up to the thing, and I start singing and dancing and everything. And it's a Baptist church. You're not supposed to sing and dance, but I'm a homeless guy and it's my birthday. So it's my birthday. I get to do what I want to do, and I'm going to get up there. So I get up there and I go and say, I'm so excited. I'm going to come. Like, this is so awesome. I mean, what's neat, what's fascinating about this church is this church goes ahead. I mean, they don't hold anybody. So there's Billy Bob, and I'm all disheveled, and I've got this wig on, and I've got this other thing, and I'm a homeless guy. And I'm like, what's great about this church? I'm going to come back to this church every year to celebrate my birthday, because like, this church doesn't hold anybody accountable for sharing Christ or building the church or doing anything, but they do hold you accountable. Come up on your birthday. This is important, and I love this. So every year from this point forward, we have this policy that you have to come up on your birthday. I'm going to be here every year, and I'm dancing everything.
Did you have to do it next year?
I did not. That is when I learned the power of the expressive. See, people use and leverage drama, for a whole bunch of stuff. So when Nora says, Mark, you like drama, I actually don't. I think it's stupid. But you know what? If drama is necessary, I'll bring drama on. I'll see your drama, raise your drama, and I'll call your drama. So people who use drama for leverage, you know what? You can do that if you want, but trust me, I can out drama you in a heartbeat, and I don't care how expressive you are. I mean, I can get drunk without ever drinking anything. I can dance on a table. I can do anything. Trust me, if you can go up to the church that you were part of, your dad founded the church and you did it in front of your old kids as Billy Bob, if you can do that, you can do anything. And so people out there that use drama, bring it on. Let's use some drama. So, if that's you and you don't have a sincere desire to grow, then this is going to be the worst thing you've ever made up your mind to do. Because I can go ahead and come to a family reunion. I can go ahead and come to a wedding. I can come to anything. Don't be stupid. Like, it's the only boundary I have. I don't have any other boundaries besides don't be stupid. So stupid is not knowing what to do. Ignorant is not knowing what to do. Stupid is not doing what we know. And so, that same church kicked me out for applying Matthew 18. I didn't steal anything from the church, didn't hurt anybody, wasn't in an affair. Like, I'm just applying the Bible. And that church kicked me out and hurt my wife and my kids to this day. I wasn't prepared for being kicked out of a church. I didn't fight it. Could have split the church right down the middle. Didn't. I had people coming up to me crying. And they're like, Mark, what they did was so wrong to you. I'm leaving the church. And I said, Evelyn, you don't have to leave the church on my account. No, it's fine. My mom came up, she's in tears, and she says, I'm afraid. I'm concerned for your children and what this damage. And I said, Mom, I think as long as Roseanne and I don't get bitter, I think it's going to be fine. But then Dale Williams, he went ahead and intentionally sought to harm me after I left the church and harm my wife and my children. I don't care if he harms me. You know what, Dale, you goofball, you are Emmanuel Baptist Church. Dale Williams. My brother Ken, I had a lot more respect for him. He was the associate pastor. He was at least honest. He told my parents, he's like, I don't think we ought to talk to Mark. I think we ought to just not have any. For what? For saying something to Dale Williams and my brother Ken that neither of them wanted to hear. The amount of damage that they have done to my wife and my kids. And last time I wasn't prepared. So to see the church's greatest fear, pastor's greatest fear, is to be exposed for who they are. And with the internet now, it's not hard to expose people. It's not hard at all. And so it's the worst day of your life. Why is it the worst day of your life? Because Mark's going to expose you, because he doesn't fear. He just doesn't. Perfect love casts out all fear. Pastors don't understand that. There's so much fear. They have police cruisers in their parking lot. What? And I'm not saying they should. I'm not. Why? There's so much violence in the church. Why? Well, it's society. Is it? Or is it because you mistreat people? Is it because you mistreat people? You abuse them spiritually. I did a whole series on spiritual abuse. So yeah, I don't mind Nora bringing on drama. I can do it. My girls, they're like, Dad, you're another drama thinking moment. Like our youngest daughter, Angela, She was like, I don't know, 21, had moved out of the house at 18, I think it was 18, 19. So she was living on her own and stuff. And she came back around. She came for Christmas and stuff. And we had the whole family. And Jonathan, he had lived in Nashville. And so he had traveled all the way up to Nashville. All the other kids were local. Um, and, uh, and so she was just being a bee, I'm just telling you, that's what she was not being nice. And I'm like, it's my house, and I don't want to create a disruption, and I don't want drama. But then, she's just mean, and she's just being mean to people. And, Jonathan, he's a guest. And then she was just mean, and he just took it. He didn't fight back. He just took it. And I'm like, I have had enough. So I said to Angela, I said, hey, sweetheart, you know what, honey? you just, honey, I don't know what to tell you, And what did she do? 21-year-old young woman. What did she do?
I don't know. What
You
did she
don't
do?
understand my life.
You don't understand my life. You don't understand. She goes into victimhood. You don't understand my life. You don't understand what it's like to be a young woman living on your own. I'm like, you know what? Billy Bob's coming out again. I'm like, really? Really? You think you got a rough, just like this? This is just like what it is. Really? Really? You want to go there, honey? You think you got it tough? And I was 50 at the time. I said, you think you got it tough? Are you kidding? You want to hear tough, honey? You want to hear a bunch of trauma? You want to hear a bunch of stuff? You want to escalate this? You really do in my house? You want to bring it on, girl? I'll bring it on to you. I'll show you what I got. Just like that. Ginger Ann, she took her 3 and 4-year-old boy, and they scurried down into the basement. Grandpa's had enough. I'm not putting up with this stuff. Just not. I raised it up. She came at me, raised it another. I'm like, you know what? This is just crap. It's not. Yeah, you want drama? I'll bring you drama. She ends up crying and leaving. I'm like, was I too tough? Did I bring too much on? Too much heat? Yeah, you don't want to go drama against me. I can assure you that. You have no idea how much I can bring. So I did a little poll, and I asked the kids and said, hey, was I too tough on your sister? Ben's like, dang, Dad, that was awesome. Like, wow, you got courage. Ginger Ann with the 2 boys, I said, hey, honey, was I too much? She's like, no, Dad, she had it coming. It's fine. Nope. She was fine with it. Everybody was fine. And then I went into the kitchen and I said, hey, hon, was I too tough? She starts crying. And she's like, you ruin all our holidays. Excuse me? You allow your daughter to absolutely be so mentally, emotionally, relationally abusive so much. You don't put her in her place. You don't set her aside. You don't take her down. Finally, I have the courage to do it and not let her mistreat other people. And I'm the one. Are you kidding? I didn't say that to her. Not then. I'm just like, really? 3 months later, Rosanna comes to me. She's like, you got to fix this with Angela. I said, fix what? She's Like she's not talking to you. I'm like, I'm fine with that. I'm tired of her crap. Like, there's nothing to fix from my perspective. Like, yeah, I'm not putting up with this stuff. She is hurting people. And you know what? I don't care what she does or says to me. She can say anything. I'm a dad. You know what? Abuse me, mistreat me, do whatever. But she's mistreating you. She's mistreating the other kids. She's mistreating she's mistreating a whole bunch of people. I'm not putting up with it. So I'm fine with us not talking, because if I talk, she comes at it again, I'm going to give her another dose of it. And it's going to be bigger this time. Men are like, you can't talk like that to your wife. No, I absolutely can't. Went another 3 months and she didn't talk to me. For 6 months, she didn't. She later coined the term a mark bomb. She never forgot that. And it seems like the more spiritual somebody thinks they are, women think they got it figured out. Do you really? You think that men are the issue. I'm not saying they're not. Men are just goofball. They're just stupid. But you're not that smart. You may be the one causing the issues. You don't even know it. And your husband, he's too afraid to go ahead and tell you. Why? I don't know. John Considine said once when I was doing a big sales presentation, really nervous. I'm like, ooh, this one's a big one. He said, Mark, go in there fighting like a dead man. He was in martial arts. He's like a 3rd-degree black belt. I said, what do you mean? He says, when you go in and fight like a dead man, you have nothing to lose. That's when you're in greatest flow. Because you're not afraid. I mean, the Bible says perfect love casts out all fear. There's so much hypocrisy. There's so much false teaching from the pulpit, but nobody says anything. Why? Because pastors teach you very soon, very quick. Don't say anything. Because they're just going to laugh it off. They're just going to dismiss it. Well, yeah, like, I thought the word of God was important to you, but you're saying this and you're saying this and you're saying this. And well, that's just this. I mean, it's just crazy to me. Rosanna, what are you thinking now?
That you have learned a lot over the years.
Why do you think it is that I can't teach it, Rosanna?
Because some people are just not willing to learn.
Why?
Fear. They think they've got it figured out. I guess you could say pride.
Lane, questions, thoughts you have?
You made a comment about your husband not saying anything to you because of not sure what you said after that, but that resonated with me, and maybe that's where I'm at. I don't know.
I don't know either. It's hard being a husband. It might be harder being a wife. I don't know. I've never been a wife before, never been a woman. It's not easy being either one. I mean, when do you speak your mind and when don't? How do you speak it? They talk about in church all the time. It just makes me gag. I just want to throw up. It's like, speak the truth in love. What does that mean? Like, what does that mean? And who decides that? Well, the recipient decides it. Are they in the best position to decide it? So you're judging what I'm saying is not loving? Like one of my business partners once said to me, there's hard force and soft force. Hard force is using, either physical or authority to go ahead. Men use it in voice and tone and everything like that. And so, this business partner, we were talking about hard and soft. And he says, I don't like when you use hard force. I said, I don't like it either. He said, why do you use it? Because it's the only thing that works with you. So parents of multiple kids understand this. Some children are very soft-hearted and you just barely speak and they get it and they try to change, and others are hard-hearted. It's like a 4x4. Like they just don't get it. They just don't get it. So I don't know. Like you could go ahead and have Ira listen to this and say, like, am I the kind of wife? Am I the kind of wife where you're afraid to tell me things? Because that's not my heart, honey. Like my heart is not to be that kind of a woman. Am I that kind of a woman? And I have no idea what he'll say. None. Because that's not the kind of woman I have experienced with you, but I'm not your husband, right? So it's different. It just is. And I get it. It's not wrong. It's just different. And so, but from my experience, your reflex is to own things, is to take ownership. Nora, helped me to realize that I suck as a team builder on Saturday. Elaine helped me to realize, to take that in deep and realize, Mark, you suck as a husband, you suck as a father, you suck as a grandfather, you suck as a leader, because I don't know how to build teams. And trust me, I could come up with more reasons than excuses. I could come up with so much evidence that's not true. But that doesn't help me grow. That just helps me get stuck, stay stuck. I could go ahead and give reasons like, that's not true. You're a great team builder, Mark. You've done this and this. Trust me, I can come up with more evidence than you can come up how great of a team builder I am. I can do that. But it doesn't change the fact that I suck. And then let's say I do suck. I could come up with all kinds of reasons why I do. But that doesn't change the fact that I suck. And it's just interesting. Like I always thought men and women were very different, but now, I don't know, they don't seem to be so much different. Men seem to be more fragile than women. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. I'm like, give me a break. Like you can't say anything. I thought men were supposed to be able to take criticism. And then I thought that they were able to. I mean, my grandfather taught me that when I was 8 years old. Like, Mark, when somebody says something to you, there's some amount of truth to it. Could be 1%, 99%. You get to decide how much it was. I told Tom Kuntz that story once. And he just latched onto that. He said, that is insane. I'm like, right? It's brilliant. Like his grandfather told him when he was 15, he said, Tom, he said, what I'm about to tell you, you're not going to understand or see any value in. All I ask is that you write it down because it will have significant meaning to you in the future. Over 50 years later, he remembered that. He shared that story with me. My grandfather never told me that. My dad never told me that. It's so much wisdom. It's unbelievable. I've shared that story with others, but it doesn't seem they write things down. But now I know why. Because I suck as a team builder. Now I'm going to fix that. I'm going to fix that. And after 62 years of sucking at team building and not even knowing you're sucking at it. How hard is that going to be to change after 62 years? Not even realizing you have an issue. Nora, anything you got?
No.
Pretty cool, isn't it?
What? What is?
Like, you know, a little party trick now.
What? Dress up?
No, no, no. Just go ahead. All you got to do is a party trick and just say, "Hey, Mark, can you show us a little drama?" Mark, you like drama, don't you? Like, that's a trigger for me. You want drama? Just say that, and I'll bring the drama on. See, do you understand the power and leverage of drama, Nora?
Not sure.
Not nearly as much as most women do. So you're different than most women. I mean, there's in the 9 months we've known each other, there's a handful of times where I've seen it. Once I laughed, and then I got in trouble. Like, oops, sorry, not supposed to do that. But it was funny. I mean, when I think about it, it's still funny. It just is. It too soon?
You can do whatever.
I don't know. I am trying to help her to heal. Like, I'm trying to help her to heal from it. Anybody else have anything else? All right. So next we're going to be going into, man, I can't wait till we're done. This is exhausting. So next is, so I just want to try to give you a couple things that I learned in my short relationship with Mark. I hope it's an encouragement. I hope they be an encouragement to you. So we'll talk about that. You wouldn't think that's pretty straightforward. That's not that hard, but it actually is. It's and Nora's experienced that. So she came to Riverside Retreat first time. The day after her husband of 6 years filed for divorce, and we met at Riverside Retreat on our property of fun and healing. And she was on the heart deck with her brother-in-law. And the short story is, like, I saw something that was amazing about her. I'm like, wow. And I said to her, like I say to most people, I love people, I just don't like them. And she just casually said, "Oh, you'll like me." I'm like, she's a cocky one. She's a sassy one. And I did for 3 months. It was amazing. Check out the friendship, your voice in my headset. I don't know where we stand right now. There for a while, she was a level 2 friend. She did not like me. And I didn't like her, honestly, either. I did not. She said I would, and I did. She didn't say how long, but I did. But I didn't like her. And so there's some things in here that are very profound. And so I look forward to this. Do you share this with others? That's up to you. But there's some deep insight, I think, and wisdom in here from Jim's 2.5 minute video that I think all of us can learn from. Always remember, we can accomplish so much more together than we ever could on our own. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.